Okay guys, welcome back again. So in this video, let's see that how do we deploy our NodeJs Express API with MongoDB as the database, and we'll be running MongoDB inside a Docker container. And all these things would have auto SSL, load balancing, global CDN, auto CI/CD and zero configuration. And basically what auto CI/CD means is that if you make any changes inside your application, that would be automatically handled by Zeet. And if you haven't signed up to Zeet till now, do so from the first link given in the description below so that you can follow along with me in this video. And the complete deployment time of our application that is based on Node.js and Express and deploying a MongoDB container would take less than 2 minutes. So here is our application, that is Node.js REST API, which is hosted on GitHub. And this application we are going to deploy on Zeet. And this application gives you a list of Apple products and you can do each and every CRUD operation inside this API. So if we have a look at the package.json file, we simply have a start script here, that is node app.js. And if we go back and if we'll have a look at the .env file, we see that these environment variables are required by this API. That is the port on which this application runs. Or if you do not provide a port, then the application would run defaultly on port 3000 itself. Then you need the MongoDB URI, the database name, the database username and the database password. So let's see that how do we deploy this API. So once you sign up from the link in the description below, you'll be seeing a page like this, that is to create a project. And here we are going to create two projects, one for our application and one for the Docker image containing MongoDB. So firstly, you need to click here, that is new project, and we'll be presented with this screen. So firstly, let's set up our application, that is this Node.js REST API. So let's click on GitHub here because our app is hosted on GitHub. And now you need to add the GitHub repo. So let's click here. And now a GitHub pop-up will open to install Zeet on your account. So let's choose our account here. And now here, let me select only the selected repository. And here I'll simply choose REST API repository, that is this Node.js REST API. And now let me click on install here. And now once the installation is complete, we'll be taken back to this Zeet dashboard. And here we simply need to do continue like this. And the only thing we need to do is to click on deploy now. And for now, let me change the application name to something else, that is toolmethod-nodejs-rest-api. So now let's click on deploy here. And now we see that our project has already started building here, as we can see here. And now what you can do, you can add in the environment variables here itself, or we can do that later also. So let's add the environment variables later on. So here we can simply skip the setup. And we are here on the overview of our deployment that is currently building here. And if we go to the settings page here of this application, we see that this is the URL of our application, that is toolmethod-nodejs-rest-api.zeet.app, or else you can also provide in your custom domain. So I'll be linking a card at the top here where you can see how to add a custom domain to your application. And then the only thing we need to do here in the networking tab is to expose the port. And here, since our app runs on port 3000, so we are simply going to expose port 3000 like this. So now let me simply click on save now. So now if we scroll down, we see that we have some environment variables here, and that's what we are going to do after creating the MongoDB container. So now while this is building, or let's have a look at the overview here. So we see that it has been already deployed. So now let's create a new project for our MongoDB container. So if we select here, so now you need to create a container from the Docker image. And mind you, this would be chargeable because only one project is free from the link. So let's click here, that is the Docker image. So it would ask you to add in your payment method for this thing. So you can do that. But since I have already added my payment method here, so it would be charged $5 per month, and it is chargeable per minute basis, not monthly basis, but roughly you will be charged about $5 a month. And here we need to provide in the Docker image name. So let me choose Mongo, and we see that this MongoDB Docker image is officially supported by Zeet. And here we need to provide in the database user, the database password and the database size. So let me change the username to killer and the password to killer123. And now here you need to choose the database size, and this database is chargeable at $0.2 per GB. So if I choose 10 here, then I would be charged $2 per month. So let me simply choose 1 GB here because 1 GB data is enough. So let me simply click on deploy here. And let the project name be this thing here. And this Docker image would be deployed only in a few seconds. So we see that it is deployed in under 3 seconds. So now let's go to the settings of this MongoDB container here. And here we see that it has automatically exposed this port, that is 27017. And then we have the DB username here, and then we have the DB password here. And we see that the instance is tiny and the estimated monthly cost is $5. And the persistent volume is this thing here. So you do not need to worry about these things here. We are only interested in this username and password. So now let's go back to our dashboard. So let's open our dashboard in a second window here, or in a second tab here. And now let's go to this REST API project here. And now let's go to the settings here, and let's scroll down here. And here we need to provide in the environment variables. So if we have a look at the Node.js REST API and open the .env file here, we need these environment variables. So let me copy these environment variables one by one. So MongoDB URI, and we need 4 environment variables. One is the DB name, and the third is the DB user, and the last one is the DB password. Because these are the environment variables here, that is the DB user and the DB pass. So here, let me provide in the DB user. DB user was killer, as we see here that this is killer and the password is killer123. So let me provide them here, and the password would be killer123. And the database name, let's choose our database name. So let's keep it products here. And now for the MongoDB URI, what we can do, we can go back to our Mongo deployment here. And if we have a look at the deployments here, we'll be seeing the URI here, or in the overview we are going to see. And we see that this is the actual URI of our MongoDB container here. And we see that this is a private endpoint. That is, this MongoDB container is only accessible by Zeet applications and not from anywhere else in the world. So let me copy this thing from here, and let's go back here. And here what we can do, we can simply do it like this: MongoDB : / and then the path here, and then since this runs on port 27017, so we can pass in the port like this. And now what we need to do, we simply need to click on save here. And that's all what you need to do to deploy your API based on Express application and MongoDB as the backend. So if we see here that this is the URL of our application, and let me go here inside Postman. So we see that our application has exposed this route here, that is truely-nodejs-rest.api.zeet.app. This is the actual URL of our application, and this is the API endpoint, that is the products endpoint. So now let's simply make a GET request here to get all the products. So we see that we get an empty array back because there are currently no products inside our application or inside MongoDB. So let's create a new project here. So to create a new product, we are making a post request to /products with this JSON body here, that is the name of the product and the price of the product. So if we do send here, we'll be seeing that our product is created here, as we see here, that if we get back an ID, a name, and the price and the version. And if we do get all products now, we'll be seeing an array of our products. So we see that we are getting this thing back. So now let me create another product here. So this time the product name would be iMac 27 $499, and this should be iMac Pro 27, I suppose, like this, and the price would be $4,999. And let me make a request here, that is a post request, and we see that the product has been added. And if we get a list of all the products, we'll be seeing that we get back an array of 2 products. So now let's see that how do we get a product by ID. So let's simply choose this route here, that is getting a product by ID, and here we need to provide in the ID. So let me provide this ID. So let me copy this ID from here, and let me get a product by ID. So let me paste in this ID here, and now let me make a request here, that is a GET request to get this product. And we see that we get back that product. So now let's see that how do we update this product. So let's copy the ID here, and we'll be updating the price from $499 to $599. So let's update the product. Let me paste in the ID here, and for the body, I am providing this body here, that is I want to update the price to $5,999. So let me make a request here, that is the patch request here So let's send it, and we see that the price has been updated. And if we get a list of all the products again, we'll be seeing a list of product with the updated price. So now if we want to delete this product, let's make a delete request here to this route here, that is /product/ID, and we'll be getting back that the deletion has been complete, and we are getting back an old product that was deleted from our application. So now if we do get all products, we won't be seeing the last product here, that is this product here. So let me make a request, and we see that we are getting this thing here. So let me show you one more thing, that is, let's make a load test on this application running on Zeet platform. So let me copy this URL here, that is this get URL, to get a list of all the products, and let's go to terminal to make a load test here. So let me increase the font size first. So let's make a load test on this URL. So load test. And here what we'll be doing, we'll be making 1000 requests to our API with 100 concurrent requests. And let me paste in the URL here, that is the get URL to get all the products. So now let me press enter, and let's see that how fast is the Zeet platform. So we see that the total time took by our request is about 9 seconds to handle 1000 requests. That is about 110 requests per second. So I guess that is pretty fast. And that too, we are running on the shared cluster. That is a tiny instance. So I guess that this is pretty good. So guys, that's all about this video. So if you have liked the video, do hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do subscribe to the channel, and stay connected for future videos, and have a good day.